pound for pound.
Hey guys, welcome to my first guide video, I guess you'd say. We're going to walk through some of the I wish somebody would have told me that when I started type things about the game that I find more and more of my guild members just don't know or found out really late. So I got a short list here. We're going to go through a couple things. The first of which is going to be to set up your chat window so that all your chats are in the same thing. You can move this chat window around by unlocking this window right here, and you can move this all around. But what you're really looking at is on your general tab, go ahead and select all of your whispers, your guild stuff, your alliance stuff if you're in an alliance, just basically this block right here. And I also put kill players so I can see when people die in the zone. But this is the setup for your chat. So here you've got all of your stuff on the same thing, and you can see everything at once. Depending on what you're playing on, you're going to want to set your settings. People are going to refer to your ZVZ settings or set your settings or whatever kind of way. What you're going to do is game settings here. You're going to go to video. You're going to drop this down to low. This is going to put what you want to be pretty much all through here. Just everything's on low. All this shit's turned off. You can turn it on later when you're recording or whatever it is. HUD. I turn off damage numbers. Name tags. I usually only have my hit points bar on. If you have problems with name tags, you can turn some of these other name tags off depending on your role. Show off-screen name tags can definitely help if you're playing on a potato. Target markers is usually pretty good if you're playing with a decent team that'll mark their people. You're going to want to keep that on. For spell indication areas, a lot of places will want you to put combat mode on. You can do this from a hotkey as well. I think it's Control K. But for these, I usually just play a healer, so I've got show enemy damage and ally heal. Depending on your role, again, you may find that some of these are more beneficial or not. In general, you're going to want to turn the most shit off. Is basically what they're saying. If you have issues with any kind of performance issues with your computer, just turn everything the fuck off. Is basically the rule of thumb here. We're recording, so we're going to turn this back on high and head to the market to show you some stuff. So I'll catch you over there. Alright, so here we are. We're naked in the bank, as many of us will end up being. I want to go over the quick equip function here. This is super useful, especially when you're stacking up chests for fights or for resets or for whatever it is that you're going to do something where you want to have preloaded gear and know how this function works. So basically what it does is we're going to see what I've got here. You'll see that I'm actually a broke guild leader right here, like any good guild leader should. I don't have a lot of money. What do I need money for? Just looking out for the people, right? So we're going to equip some gear. I got some just random gear set up over here. We're going to quick equip this, and it's going to take everything that was the first option for each slot. And it's going to do this basically no matter what position that we put this stuff in. You can have it all stacked up linear, whatever you want to do. It can be spread out all over here. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever it goes first to, left, right, top to bottom. So right now it's going to load these three pieces of equipment. If I were to move this down here, it would load that royal helmet. Royal helmet's loaded there. Alright, that's it for the quick equip. Also worth noting right now is that you can shift click to move things in between chests and your inventory. So if we're holding the shift key and we're clicking, things can be moved as well. So shift clicking is a thing, as well as quick equip. Alright, so we're going to head on over to the market and show you a couple of quick and easy things that will help your shopping a little easier, get your economy going a little better here, just to make sure that you're doing all of the smart things here in the market. So we'll go and we'll find a random piece of gear. We'll say this soldier helmet right here. That's fine. If you click this little tab right here, you can see a couple of different things. For one, you can see who's buying this and what the buy orders are. You generally speaking, if you're going to be selling things that you're crafting, you don't want to be selling to these buy orders. You always want to be selling your things on a sell order. You can see what the other sell orders are through here, as far as the amounts, and down here you can actually see the price histories of how many of these items have sold, the volume of the sales, average pricing. It does all this for you. So if you're getting into crafting, or if you're looking to buy a piece of gear, or if you loot something and you want to know what it's actually worth, you can actually get a pretty safe market value per a market. So all of the markets are localized. So I'm in the Thetford market right now. This market is set just for Thetford. So the items that are for sale here in Thetford are not for sale anywhere else in the game. This is completely in a vacuum to itself. This soldier helmet can only be bought right here by this person. There's other soldier helmets for sale in other markets, but they don't link together the inventories or the sell items or any of the orders. Okay, so we are here in Dusklight Fen, and we're here to demonstrate the map function here. So if you hit M for the world map, that's where you're at. It'll automatically bring you up. If you're on an island, the world map does not work because islands are instanced and you can't see where you're at on an island. Reset camera will take you to whatever your zone is. You can scroll in and out of this with your mouse wheel. There's that, right? M map. M as in map. The N map, N as in November, that's your mini map, that's your regional map, and this is the one that you'll use while you're trying to run away from shit so that you don't end up in a noob trap. So, and we scroll in and out on this as well, and it can also move. I don't know why you would want to, it's kind of annoying. But that map exists as well. The N map is what you're going to be looking at while you're running through zones like we're doing now. You can keep running with the N map up. If you're in safe zones, or if you're traveling long distances, or if you want to type shit to people in Say Chat while you're running, you can use the numlock key to auto run. So I'm not hitting anything. I'm just moving the mouse around. It's just auto running. As soon as I hit a location, as soon as I hit a mouse key to make myself go, like right there, then it'll stop. But if I hit numlock again, it just automatically takes off running, and it will do this until it runs into something, or or until you stop it. Okay, here is your spawn buff timer. It's this shield right here that keeps jumping around. So this one here. Here's your spawn buff timer, and this basically tells you how long you have before you can get another bubble when you go through a portal. But you can actually lose this if you travel far enough away from that portal. A lot of times there's going to be a situation where you zone into a place, or you cross over into a different zone or whatever, and there's going to be somebody there, a hostile somebody there on the other side ready to go, and you're not going to be sure what to do because you're not going to have cooldowns, and you're going to panic and you're going to run off. What I need you to do is just chill the fuck out and just stay in one spot and just keep your bubble, because they can't hit you. You have a bubble. So here's how it goes. Watch. I zone in here. Oh no, I got some hostiles. Oh no, they're flagged up. They're gonna get me, right? Okay, great. I've got 10 seconds of a bubble here. I've got 10 seconds on cooldowns here. They're gonna time out at the same time. So while my bubble's up, I have instant defensives and I can engage, and there you go. Boom, boom, boom. Either that or you can try to turn and get the fuck out. But if you run, your bubble will time out before your little cooldowns will be ready. So I'll get it. Okay, so let's see what happens if we run away. Alright, so if we come in and there's hostiles and we freak out and we run away from our spot, boom. Now I'm stuck with like another 5-10 seconds. Whatever it is, not gonna find out because I'm about to get my shit kicked in because I ran away from my bubble and I don't have my cooldowns yet. Okay, so we got our chat window set up. We know how to have our stuff set up here for all of our video settings. We know how to get in and out of dungeons and all that, and we're making some fame, right? So we got some of these learning points up here, these guys right here. So we got some of these guys set up, and you're going to want to use them because you're going to have all these things popping up, right? So don't use them shit. Don't use them, all right? Generally speaking, if you're going to use it on a piece of gear or on a weapon, you should only be using it on these outside parts right here. Combat specialists, right? You want to only be using your learning points if you're going to use them on any kind of combat spec. Learning points get used for combat specialists, okay? Not just for fighters, not for mastery. You don't want to. You can just grind this up. Don't waste your valuable learning points trying to skip levels so that you can use a T6 over a 5-1. It doesn't matter. Just grind it up. You'll use it next week. It's fine. Only use your learning points for this outer level shit. If you're gonna grind a crafting character, same deal. Outer level spec. This is where you're gonna have your focus This is where you're going to have your, your efficiency on your focus points and everything else. So you want to use your learning points so that your focus points are going to be more efficient. Okay. If you're going to have refining, so one of my alts has refining, I used my learning points on this refining tree, and it's done wonders because, refining is great use of focus and those kind of things. This farming tree over here, so my main is a farmer. Don't be like me. Unless you want to role play being poor in Albion, don't focus on farming. Uh, the important thing, though, is when you're talking about your focus usage, right? And you're talking about how to maximize these kind of things, and silver per focus point or whatever else it is. The absolute worst thing that you can do, even worse than putting focus into watering, say, carrots, like I've done, obviously, because I have 100 carrot. The absolute worst thing you can do is let your character that you have focus on sit at 30k focus. So if the only thing that you can do is just throw some carrots in the ground and water them real quick so that you burn up 5 or 6k focus so that you can just get to something the next day. That's a better use of focus than not doing that and letting 30k focus cook off on your character for another 48 hours because you didn't do anything, because you weren't doing the refining thing that you were already kind of focused and trained on. So if you can't do anything else, just have an island set up with a couple of things going on so that if you're going to get to 30k focus, just dump it into something. So that's when this becomes valuable, is because if you just dump it into the same thing as your cook off to make sure that you're not maxed out and wasting focus, then that's where this will become, something worthwhile. Don't focus these. You're not going to make a whole lot of money doing these. It's cool to grow mounts. It's cool to make food. There's money you can make making food and doing these things. I would love for someone to have an argument for why this is the best use of focus. That would be awesome. But so far, the general consensus is that, high level crafting and refining are going to be your best focus usage as far as making money on that mechanic in the game. But 30k focus is the worst thing that you could do by sitting on that. So put a couple of plots together, have a couple of seeds, just so that you can dump focus into crops at the last minute to avoid 30k. So while we're running home here, go ahead and cover a couple other small things. Generally speaking, all of the guilds in the game that I've dealt with use Discord in some way or another. So Discord's going to be a must as far as things go. If possible, use push to talk. Use push to talk on either your mouse button is a good one. The left alt key for your thumb right there is a good one. No one wants to hear you breathing or chewing or whatever else it is, or the background or whatever. It's no matter how good of a setup you have or you think you have, everybody appreciates the fact that you've got push to talk on. I can call ZVZs with push to talk, so the idea that like you can't play and push to talk at the same time is kind of stupid. Granted, I don't always do all that well calling, but that would be the same regardless of if I have push to talk or a megaphone or a bullhorn or anything else. So yeah, push to talk, that's a thing. Discord, a lot of people run their Discords a lot of different ways. My overall advice would be read what they tell you to read and follow it. It takes 5 minutes, usually to read somebody's welcome page and to see what they're all about. If people have gone through the effort of putting together sort of a protocol for what they want from their Discord members, they've probably done it for a reason. So just respect the process that guilds or other groups have, and remember that it's kind of their space and that you're a guest there. If you want to do things kind of left field, however the fuck you want, then okay, cool, man. You can open several Discord servers and do that. But if you're in someone else's house, make sure you read the house rules. It's just good form. That being said, a lot of Discords run a lot of different ways. It's cool to ask for perms. It's cool to say, hey man, do I have the perms that I need to access shit? Nobody minds telling you yes or no that you have perms. It doesn't come off as being weird if you're trying to join a group for asking for, hey, am I seeing everything that I'm supposed to be seeing? Can somebody make sure? Because a lot of times the answer is no, nobody got you yet. So that's cool. It's not cool to ping at everyone in a server you don't own. It's not really cool to ping at everyone in like a global chat, public chat, main chat, any of those kind of things, unless you've got a reason that everybody absolutely needs to hear what you've got to say. It's just not something that you do. Ping your friends individually if you want to troll ping, that kind of thing. That's funny, but yeah, at everyone's and things are kind of reserved for leadership people. At here is usually used probably a little more commonly for getting people's attentions in certain rooms. So at here is preferred if you have to, over an at everyone by far. That being said, thanks for watching the video. It's been fun. We'll see how this turns out in editing, and until then, yeah, cheers.